Thanks for joining me again on Sealed for Good, and on this week's episode we're doing something different. We're out of the Gripset think tank room and we're actually out on site, and I wish that I could actually show you some photos of things that I'd like to report on, but this is one of the industry issues that we have. And today I've got Graham Good from GQC Homes in Adelaide, and Jared Fillmore, who's one of Adelaide's best waterproofers out in the market. And unfortunately we are around the table after we've just been inside seeing one of Grant's clients dealing with a plight with the video you saw earlier as the intro into this program. And Grant, I might just get you to explain the situation you've come about, because you didn't build the house originally, but you've been brought into this disaster, as we'll call it, after a very short period of time.
So we got a call from the clients to come and have a look at some repair work, and we noticed there was multiple things, predominantly in the bathroom. With the bathroom, we did a flood test in there, and we noticed there was water coming out through the wall-to-floor junction in the passageway, subsiding down underneath the tiles and then coming up through the grout line. What brought it to our attention was the client actually suggested that their son, every time he had a shower, she'd notice water coming out into the passageway, and did a pressure test on the plumbing. Plumbing was fine, and then next avenue to look down was obviously the waterproofing.
What blows me away is speaking to the owner, and we're in the eastern suburbs of Adelaide, so we're in a really nice area, but what I can't understand, like she was saying that 11 months ago she started using that bathroom. Jared, that would be one of the quicker ones you would have seen out there.
Shocking.
And for that to have come up, I mean, I remember 30 years ago these issues came about when we didn't have standards, when people still just using PVC coating at all four junctions and no one knew any better. But 2016 this is built, and we're here in October 2017. She started using it in November 16, and it's gutted, and you know, I don't understand how the different trades have got this wrong.
No system in place.
So, I mean, how often are you seeing this?
Monthly basis.
As in repairs?
As in repairs.
And Grant, one of the horrifying things you just mentioned to me before we started was that you're getting called in by clients around the state on a regular basis now, and you tell me that they are disasters after within 6 to 12 months of someone else have finished the work.
Yeah, just simple practices being missed.
So when you say the simple practices, is it attention to detail by, do you put the responsibility upon the builder or the trades that have used?
Supervision and trades, licensed trades.
And from what you're saying, well, I mean, you could, is it a matter of where does it come in where the waterproofer does the job right, and then the waterproofing is damaged potentially?
It doesn't get policed at all. Like, there's no duty of care. It's people don't understand that a membrane's not made of metal, and once we leave a job, we try to have a tiler come in straight away. It shouldn't be a flusher, shouldn't be a sander. If you are going in there, rubber feet on your ladders, drop sheets down. If you do damage something, speak up. Say something now.
So on a job like this should be easy to police, because we're not on a building site with apartments where you've got multiple trades walking in all over the place. It could be easily policed.
Yeah, but mainly in, I would say, in even high-end builders, even to your architectural design, engineers don't understand, architects aren't educated, it doesn't go down the line, and then it comes to us to make it, and yourself to make a system and a decision to get the job done in a manner that it's going to work.
Where is it? I mean, is it at the lower end of the piece of where the trade is doing the work? All the onus is back upon you guys to...
Yeah, we're made reliant to get the job done correctly. When
like you said,
what we're working on sometimes isn't, it's not a perfect world. You know, you don't have your perfect floor to wall junctions. You know, your walls aren't flushed up. You know, especially with retainment, even with flushed, you know, rendered bathrooms. You know, or gyprock bathrooms. You know, it does come down to the trades beforehand doing the right thing for us, so we can install the product in the right manner, and then therefore it shouldn't have an issue. Full stop.
But on a job like this, would it have been as simple as you getting a set of drawings and a spec and going, okay, I've got to follow the spec, or would you still prefer that? I mean, now it's people might say, well, in hindsight, you guys are working together because you can repair it. It's a disaster. But would you have done how would you guys have done it differently when this was at the design stage? can't
I
get
think
better drawings.
even in the design stage and the construction stage, there should be a spec either from a manufacturer or a supplier that is provided to the relevant trade, making sure that relevant trade is licensed to be able to do the work that they do, plus also hand in hand with the trade and the builder or the building work supervisor need to work hand in hand and do testing on the product prior to it being tiled. Doing that will eliminate situations like this.
Yeah, well, you can see there, I mean, I made the recommendation, we always suggest flood testing, so the waterproofer can walk away and know that the tile is ready to go with it being proven that it's in service, or ready to go in service. But here, if they had flood tested it, this would have shown up
straight
immediately.
away. Straight away. But with Grant and I would work, I suppose it's in communication in what we do. You know, if we find something wrong or Grant's building something that is got a question, bang, make the phone call, ask the question.
So can I ask them how much we're going to rely, and I believe we need to, but how much, I'll get your opinion, how much we rely on common sense versus what's in gospel in the written format, what you're saying, a spec, etc.
Sometimes specs, you know, you can't always achieve 100% what a spec says, so there's always got to be an alternative. It's the same with the BCO, the timber framing, being a carpenter by trade, there are alternatives, but that's when it needs to be addressed and going back to the manufacturer and getting it, you know, getting someone like yourself to look at it and doing it properly. That's then, you know, the onus is everyone's aware of it. But a lot of the stuff comes down to, I think, as well as licensed trades. It's not policed enough here in South Australia.
This is a national problem, I can tell you. But I'll get you.
But I think that's the biggest thing. There's the OCBAR website where you can check registrations and licenses and stuff. People aren't doing that enough. Homeowners that are putting trust into builders aren't doing it enough. And then whether that goes down the line of that builder is using licensed trades, or the client is going to be under the assumption that they are, whether they are or not.
Your piece on that? Between the common sense piece and...
If common sense came in appealed, I'll be happy. But that's
we're working on that.
Yeah, working on that. Gripset common sense bill. But it's... I try to run purely by specification, you probably know, when I read through. And you got to, people have to figure out what it does. You know, I've seen it blown up live. Do strange things, and you need to. When it comes to the BCA, SA Housing Code, we don't sell a code, do we, or a standard?
No.
You sell a beautiful home, and I sell a system.
I'll tell you quite simply, the standards are what you should, when I got into the industry, was what we call the minimum requirement.
Which
everything should exceed that.
Shouldn't be.
You know, that's the minimum requirement, not I'll get near it. You got to supersede that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And just blow the housing codes out of the water. Just go over the top. But people don't want to pay.
Okay, so if you were in control of fixing the shit that's in the industry at the moment, what would you do as a builder in terms of telling authorities what's required in this piece here with the waterproofing trial?
I honestly think, with from the stage processes with council applications and stuff, we've got to notify when we're going to start works, footing construction, Form 74 for the roof framing inspection and completion of that. There needs to be an inspection for waterproofing by a governing body. Local council, I know they're trying to achieve more inspections for the roof framing inspections as well, but at least there's a form that's been submitted now, which is a Form 74 checklist. You have to do a course to be able to be licensed to be able to do that form. That's then going to be sent to council. They get notified they've got 48 hours to come in and do the inspection, but at least it's documented. So when I sign off on a roof, I take full responsibility because I physically have checked it.
Okay.
Then it's not the carpenter's responsibility to do it, it is the building work supervisor, because if an electrician, plumber, sparky, someone else were to come through, that carpenter's left site, it's up to the building work supervisor to maintain and supervise that product. Whereas I think with the waterproofing, like Jared said, is other trades can come in after and damage it. That's where I think wholly and solely it's got to come down onto the building work supervisor.
I'm going to come back to a question in a moment on you. I just want to get your take on that. If you were in control of fixing it at the moment, would it be any different than what Grant had mentioned?
No, not at all.
Okay, so the next piece then is someone's going to say out there watching this, well, that's going to add to the cost. You're a builder, you know exactly where the costs sit. what do you reckon it would cost an independent body to come out and inspect something like that? $150, $250?
$200. I suppose the big thing that people need to look at the industry as well is all this stuff that's giving all of us builders, licensed trades, a bad reputation, and for what that's jeopardising, for what you can charge as a fair rate, because you've got other unlicensed trades that are coming in undercutting. If people were at an expectation and we could get rid of the unlicensed trades, the jobs were getting done properly, we wouldn't be having these situations.
So I'm going to use a round number of $500 in a worst case scenario about an inspection being carried out here. What would that do in the percentage of a job like this on the cost?
Percentage wise,
Would have added that up to 1%?
But I suppose another way to look at that is $500 over the course of the build, it's cheap insurance.
And I've been arguing this for ages, and I don't know why. I could have a story after story about the shortcuts we see out there. But when you look at this sort of work and an inspection like that, if that was to be brought in through the industry, it's chicken feed on the total cost. And this is a renter. This is not even a new apartment.
Like a new home build, the waterproofing side of things, even if it's massive undercroft, big balconies, big bathrooms, about 2%.
Guys, look, we're going to come back and do some more shooting when you're working on this, Jared, to show how it's done properly, because your workmanship is awesome.
Thank you so much.
But Grant, I really appreciate your time and your honesty. I know it's a difficult one, but that's going to be helpful for the industry, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Hopefully we'll see you next time with a better story to tell when we're up in the eastern suburbs of Adelaide. Ciao.